All right, here is the AP Economics question from 2010, dealing with perfectly competitive widget market. Again, you can pause this at any time to read over the question. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and answer the question for you. So it says, using correctly labeled side-by-side graphs of the factor market for machines and the John Lamb Company show each of the following. So I have to draw side-by-side graphs for a perfectly competitive market. So we have our demand and supply market, price, quantity. It says to label it as PR. And then, because it's perfectly competitive, we drag over dollar quantity. So we have our supply of machines and our MRP. So part A says to label the price, the equilibrium rental price of machines in the factor market, PR. And then in the right is John Lamb's equilibrium rental quantity of machines. So that's where MRP equals the supply, this UL. So that's part one, or part A. Part B then says, assume that the popularity of widgets declines, decreasing the demand for widgets. What will happen to each of the following? It doesn't say to graph part B, so you don't have to, but you certainly can. But that's not enough to answer the question. So it says marginal products curve for machine hours. Well, marginal products curve is not affected because the decrease in demand for widgets does not affect the actual productivity in terms of units made by the machines. However, in part two, it says marginal revenue product curves for machine hours and explain. Well, MRP would fall, would decrease because of the decrease in demand, and we know that demand is also MRP or VMP. So marginal revenue products would fall because of the decrease in demand for widgets, would also decrease MRP of the machines. So that answers part B, letter 2. Now part C, John Lamb is employing the cost minimizing combination of inputs. The marginal product of labor is 28 widgets per worker hour, and wage rate is $14 an hour. The marginal product of the machine is 60 widgets per machine hour. What's the hourly rental price of a machine? Well, if they're cost minimizing, we know that the marginal product of labor divided by the wage, MPL, is divided by the wage rate is equal to the marginal product of the machines divided by the rental rate. So when those are equal, we have 28 widgets per hour divided by 14 equals 60 divided by the rental rate. So when we calculate this out, what we come up with is rent equals $30. And that's the hourly rental rate of a machine.